Healthcare Consumers Board of Directors. I'm thrilled to be presenting the Lester T. Pritchard Citizen Leadership Award to those individuals who began the struggle to protect the Mahomet Aquifer against toxic contamination. My late husband Lester was courageous and stubborn. He would not be intimidated or deterred, and he exemplified a dedication to the pursuit of justice and civil rights. This award, named in memoriam after Lester, honors citizen leaders whose activism demonstrates those same important qualities. Standing here are the individuals from DeWitt County we all have to thank to alerting Central Illinois about the threat of toxic contamination to the Mahomet Aquifer, and who, for years, worked in isolation and suffered retaliation from powerful, corrupt local players for their efforts to protect the Mahomet Aquifer. Let me introduce Terry Hoffman, Sherry Brown, George Wismiller, and Stephen Nancy Bridges. David Holt is also a member of this group, but was unable to be with us this evening. These individuals and their efforts have been nothing short of heroic. Before I tell you more about our recipients, I want to give you some background on the threat to the Mahomet Aquifer. The Mahomet Aquifer is the sole source of drinking water to us and 800,000 people in 14 counties in Central Illinois. The threat to the aquifer comes from the Peoria Disposal Company, also known as PDC Area Disposal, which owns the Clinton landfill in DeWitt County. The landfill sits directly above the Mahomet Aquifer and is a principal waste landfill that PDC Disposal wants desperately to turn into a massive toxic waste landfill to receive manufactured gas plant waste known as MGPs and PVCs. Everyone who thinks that, everyone who knows about this thinks it's obviously a bad idea. That's why several years ago, PDC Area Disposal tried to sneak their plan through the DeWitt County Board. The DeWitt County Board has the authority by state statute to allow a change in the sitting of municipal waste landfill, the siting of the municipal waste landfill, and the small county board has the oversized responsibility and power in this situation. Unfortunately, there's an outrageous corruption in DeWitt County involving PDC area and units of local government. We don't have the time to go into details, but David, Terry, Sherry, George, and Bill found out what was happening and started to lead the efforts to shine a light on the situation and put a stop to it. Now keep in mind, there's big money to be made from a toxic waste landfill, making this a high stakes Thank you. Oops, wait, we skipped a page. We went from 2 to 4. Sorry.
Trying to help, not making it worse.
Thank you. There you go. Okay, this was a high-stakes struggle, and that's where the intimidation and harassment for these individuals that these individuals have faced comes into play. David Holt used his newspaper as a vehicle to inform and rally the public. His newspaper was eventually shut down as advertisers were pressured to pull their business from his paper. He is now a truck driver, and that's why he can't be here tonight. Sherry Brown Terry Hoffman, George Weissmiller got themselves elected to the DeWitt County Board on a platform to protect the aquifer. George chose not to run for re-election in this last round, as he keeps himself busy filing Freedom of Information Act requests, maintaining an informative website, and talking to everyone about the aquifer who will listen.
George.
Sherry and Terry continue on the DeWitt County Board, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Bill has devoted himself to providing incredible technical analysis and information on the situation, and has used all kinds of government avenues and proceedings to challenge the permits that were awarded to the Clinton landfill for the MGP and PCB toxic waste. He and Terry monitor the landfill closely, and they try to alert the state and the public about toxic plumes as they rise all too frequently from the landfill. And Steve and Nancy Bridges have been tireless in their efforts to spread the word and educate the public.
Thank you.
They have incredible presentations and materials that they bring to all sorts of venues at every opportunity. What you need to know about these individuals is that they have been vocal and relentless because of their efforts. Intergovernmental legal efforts have been initiated and have succeeded in getting the U.S. EPA sole source designation for our aquifer. And now there's promising legislation that might provide permanent protection to the aquifer. This is why we call them our heroes. We've been astonished to see the level of backlash and intimidation efforts directed at these individuals, especially at the DeWitt County Board meetings. Sherry and Terry are openly mocked and ridiculed, yet they keep incredible composure. They, along with Bill, George, and Steve and Nancy, have been harassed in the parking lot after meetings on numerous occasions. Claudia, our executive director, has attended several DeWitt County Board meetings with aquifer volunteers, and she has said that she's never seen a government meeting like this one. She describes the board meetings as having very vigorous audience participation, where name-calling and threats are not off limits. She has heard people say that Sherry should be taken out behind the building and shot. Audience members frequently tell Terry to shut up as soon as he opens his mouth to ask a question on any topic at all. Claudia says this meeting is like the Jerry Springer show of governmental meetings. There are hundreds of stories we could tell, but in recognizing David, Terry, Sherry, George, Bill, and Steve and Nancy, we wanted to give you a sense of what they've been and continue to be up against just because they want to protect our precious water, even for the people who are against them. The reason you know about the threat to the aquifer and have the opportunity to do something about it is because of them. Because they started this, and against all odds, they keep going. It is this kind of stubborn, insistent, righteous courage that I am pleased to present the Lester T. Pritchard Citizen of the Year Award to David Holt, Terry Hoffman, George Weissmiller, Sherry Brown, Bill Spencer, and Stephen Nancy Bridges tonight. Thank you for all you've done, and congratulations.